Hello YouTube. If you are watching this video, well then you're probably most likely this is only going to be seen by friends of mine who may or may not watch it after I let them know that I actually recorded myself doing this, along with the inevitable swearing and screaming that's going to come along with it. So, if you have not played God of War 2018, Santa Monica Studios, and you do not wish to be spoiled, stop now. Cease and desist. Turn around. This video is not for you. If you haven't played the game, or you haven't, and you just don't mind spoilers, then brace yourself for what may very well be the last death of my sanity. Now, I have watched videos of what's about to occur here, so I am aware of what's happening. But, as you will see momentarily, this is my first time actually fighting this boss. So I'm going in knowing what can happen, but considering how this fight is supposed to work, well, anything will probably happen, and I will most certainly die many times, and I will most likely scream a lot and swear a lot. So, what I'm about to do, spoiler alert, is explain what's happening. So, anyone unfamiliar with the game, throughout the course of the story, there are 8 Valkyrie bosses that you can fight hidden throughout various parts of the world. After you kill them, you collect the helmet they're wearing, and, well, preferably post-game, what you want to do is you come here to the Council of Valkyries. Quick blurb on the map. Here is where it is located. Council of Valkyries. And you're going to put their helmets on each of these chairs, which I will do now. I'm going to shut up for just a second because I don't remember.
Whoa, you're back. Hello?
I don't think she can hear you, lad. The helms must only retain but a small portion of their owner. I'd wager the rest is in transit to Valhalla to try and fix the mess left by their absence.
Okay. There we go. I was going to say, I couldn't remember if there was actually dialogue when you put the helmets or not, so 1 second, let me just be sure here real quick. Okay. Alright, so we're good. Now, okay, so I don't remember the names. Anyone that knows me well will know that I barely remember my own name sometimes. But I am aware that if you stop and talk to each of the helmets after you place it, our, spoiler alert, reanimated head friend hanging from our belt, Mimir, he will have some things to say about each of the Valkyries, their name, and a little bit about their backstory. So what's happening here is placing the helmets on each of the chairs, or thrones, bit of incorrect wording there. Put the helmet on each of the thrones, summons, as you heard, a little bit of the Valkyrie spirit, and I will once again go over what's going to happen with the whole point of why we're doing this. So you have your 8 Valkyries, and there's a little bit of a mystery as to why exactly they are in Midgard, the realm of man, causing all manner of chaos as opposed to doing their job, which is ferrying the souls of those who die in combat to Valhalla. That's a lecture on Norse mythology. I'm not getting into that right now. Okay, and that completes that favor. And now, as you can see, by putting all 8 helmets, we have summoned a realm tear, a breach in the fabric of dimensions, through which a very dangerous opponent is going to come out. So we have our 8 Valkyries, luring our lovely friend who we'll deal with in just a moment. For anyone watching who just kind of randomly finds this, I figured it's helpful to go over my loadout. I am level 7. To my understanding, the enemy we're about to fight is usually level 8. And if you fight her when you yourself are level 8, for whatever reason, it scales her up to level 9. So I'm probably not particularly well equipped for this fight. So I would recommend level 7. Armor I have on is the Cuirass of the Valkyrie. And as you can see, the enchantment slots I have in there, Evaldi's bracers of Cursed Mist, which I probably should not have on, or I have better options, but and the enchantments therein. the waist guard of the Valkyrie and those enchantments as well. Just gonna leave that there for a second. And the talisman I have on is the Talisman of Realms, which I have seen in a lot of videos is very useful. If you L1 in circle to activate, as you can see, and it will slow her down, which is very useful because gives you just a brief few moments to get in some attacks or run away screaming, which is probably what I'm going to do. And for the boy, this is the easily, if you ask me, the best armor for him, just because of the health stones, even if he isn't always very forthcoming with giving you them when you need them. As you can see, I wouldn't really say anything specific about that. I just have all the skills unlocked. And then we're going to go over... I've seen many different videos and strategies on how to do this, different runic attacks, etc. I'm going with one that I just recently saw. So again, I can't take credit for the idea for this loadout. I saw someone else try it and I figured, why not? So, for our lovely Leviathan axe, one level below max, we have Hell's Touch for the light runic attack, Frost Giant's Frenzy for the heavy runic attack, and the pommel I have for the axe is Wing of the Fallen. And for our, spoiler alert, Blades of Chaos, and in hindsight you already saw that, so for Blades of Chaos we have the Rampage of the Furies for our light runic attack, Fire of Ares for our heavy runic attack, and Weightless Grips of Protection for our pommel, and I might actually... Okay, never mind. Not going to change that. And for the boy, we are going with Murder of Crows for his runic attack. Admittedly, I've never actually used it, but I've said the bit again, I'm just basing this on a strategy I watched in the video earlier today. So that one seems like fine. It's just a case of, why not? And I've also never used either of these runic abilities on my blades, and I have not used either of these runic abilities for the axe since I first started the game. So, inevitably we're talking here is runic abilities that I've either haven't used at all, or haven't used in quite some time playing this game. The short version, this will probably not go well for the first time, because I'm using crap that I haven't used in a while. Okay. Now, anyone that knows me, usually I don't actually have my voice turned on for these videos, and I usually don't talk this much unless I'm in a party chat with someone. But I figured, why not? I'm only really going to be showing this to some friends, because I'm not a YouTuber. I just put videos up once in a while. So, alright, I'm just, if you know my minds, I'm just going to save my game real quick. And other thing I would recommend, you're going to want, as you can see to the right of my level, that weird little arrow symbol, showing that I have a Resurrection Stone. You're going to want to go with the Berserker Resurrection Stone. Because with that one, you use it, you only get only revive with a small amount of health, but you revive with a full Spartan Rage Gauge. Which activate immediately and pound the bejesus out of the boss, and you will slowly regain a bit of health as you're doing some damage. Which in a fight like this, every bit of damage counts, and hopefully the boy will cooperate and give you a health stone when you need it. Alright, so without further ado, YouTube, and again, most likely only friends of mine watching this, but prepare yourselves for Sigrun, Queen of the Valkyries, to my understanding, most difficult boss in this game, because again, to what I've seen, she is basically fighting all 8 of these Valkyries at once. She can use any of their attacks and in any combination thereof. The only thing she cannot do is Valkyrie Kara's ability to summon Draugr. Thank God for that, because you know what, if I'm going to get my ass kicked by basically an Amazon with wings, I'd rather it be one-on-one. But that is neither here nor there. So, without further ado, YouTube, welcome to my first attempt fighting Sigrun, Queen of the Valkyries. Let's get into it. And if you have any sensibilities about swearing, taking the Lord's name in vain, you may want to turn down the volume, or just walk away, whichever you prefer. And again, I will be screaming and swearing a lot, probably making some threats, so please don't take any of it personally, folks. I'm just a very rage-filled man when it comes to gaming. Alright, let's get the hell into this. Okay, so what did we learn here, folks? A lot less screaming and swearing than I admittedly anticipated. That is good. I actually did considerably better with that than I expected. Although I should be very brutally honest here, I am on the easiest difficulty of the game, which titled Give Me Story. And again, using several runic attacks that I haven't, to my two blades runic attacks I've actually never used. And in hindsight, I kind of feel bad for that, because those are actually very useful here. But again, went considerably better than I expected. Didn't even freak out like I expected that I would. So, okay, what we're going to do here, we're going to try again. I don't have a whole lot of time to do making these attempts right now, but let's get into it, shall we? Ouch. Okay.
On my way! You okay? Look out, brother!
Lights are hell!
Father, get up! At the
Okay. So, that did not go fantastically. Not fantastically at all. Somehow I did worse than I did in my first run. Huh. Not too proud of that. Not too proud of that. Okay. Okay, tell you what, folks, we are going to try something a little different this time. Gotta say, folks, I am mildly impressed with myself with how little rage I'm actually feeling from this fight. Very bizarre. I feel like I'm only gonna give this like 2 more attempts before I really just say screw it And call it a day. Okay,
Hang on!
so, yeah. Completely honest with you, folks. That was not at all intentional. I screwed this attempt up pretty bad. I didn't see a whole lot of ways of turning this one around. Gotta be totally honest with you here, kids. Don't do what I did. Whoops, okay. Well, I can take some solace in the fact that I can consistently get her to half health. That's good. For me, that's good. Anyone that knows me knows I'm not the greatest at video games, so... I'm proud to be out there. Alright. Running out of time, so I have somewhere to... something to do very shortly. Alright, well, I did considerably better that time. One thing that can be said about any and all of the Valkyrie fights, including this one, is the most important thing to do is learn their moves. as you can see here, as I mentioned, everything that she does in this fight is something that every single is at least happens in it. Every move she has in this fight is, for the most part, something that any one of the other Valkyries does. Some of, like, for example, if you ever hear her shout Valhalla, or she runs into the air, it's when you get the quick time event where you just, pardon me, mash circle. Several of them do that, like these Valkyries. What you have to do is get a feel for it and immediately dodge one way or the other. Hers, dear Sigrun, is very special because apparently what I'm learning here is that it's much faster than the others and you have basically no room to dodge it. Which I was unaware of going into this. But now you know. And knowing is half the battle. Again, yeah, the fire thing, easily dodged. The ice thing, that's another thing that the game doesn't really mention to you, is that several instances here where you see that red circle appear around her when she attacks. What that means is that if you have your shield up like this, that her attack will break through your block and it is unblockable. Yellow circles, or if, for example, if the enemy is coming up behind you and you see the little projection arrow, means the same thing. Yellow or red means that the enemy's attack is going to break your block and it is unblockable. What I'm learning here is that, yeah, as you can see again, because she can do everything the other Valkyries can, plus the beloved Valhalla thing. Alright, yeah, screw it, I've got time for a couple more. I was hoping that I can actually get all of these in this video, because I have this set to about an hour.
Consider attacking the street.
See what I mean, folks? That attack right there, commonly referred to in the community as just Valhalla, is extremely annoying because it is unblockable, and as you can see here, something that she Valkyries will do a lot. Oh, okay. Well, that happened. Alright. I'm gonna say this now, folks. Admittedly, I'm not actually getting... Surprisingly, I'm not getting too frustrated with this. Because bit by bit, I am learning what to do here. In hindsight, this would probably make a better stream than a video. But, oh well. Oh. I'm beginning to think... Okay, so again... I'm starting to feel like electric arrows might be better because arrows do damage, and against a boss like this you can't really stun her like you can the rest of the enemies in the game. So I feel like electric arrows are better for this. Minor spoiler alert. Murder at Crows, though, that has proven very useful. We're gonna give this one more shot, only because I want to make sure that I get all of them in the video, you know? There we go. Damage. Kind of language I'm using in an M-rated game when I am in fact 24 years old and completely legal to be saying such things.
Thank you, friends. You have saved the Valkyries.
Sigrun, how did this happen?
Mimir, is that you? You have been freed, but...
Freedom comes at a price, milady.
You speak truly. Countless winters we served the All-Father. But only through his union to the Queen did we ever taste some measure of freedom.
But aren't you the queen?
There has only been one Queen of the Valkyries, the goddess Freya. When Odin severed her wings, I served in her absence, but it wasn't enough for the All-Father. He used an archaic piece of magic, corrupting my sisters. I tried to contain the damage by imprisoning them in places where they could cause no harm, but soon I lost myself as well.
Sigrun, I'm sorry for being so worthless. I could have done something, or tried at the very least. What will you do now?
I must reunite with my sisters. Together we can restore balance to the realms. You have the eternal blessings of the Valkyries.
Well, we did it, I suppose.
You don't sound very happy about it.
It's difficult to be happy about anything when you're a reanimated head. I'm grateful we were able to set the Valkyries free. But so much of this could have been avoided, if only...
You said it yourself, Head. It does not matter anymore. The past is the past.
Well, that's awfully cheerful coming from you.
I am in a good mood. The dwarves will make use of this helm.
Your dad's a wee bit single-minded, isn't he, lad?
Definitely.
Okay, well that was, I'm gonna be brutally honest here folks, that was madly unexpected on my part. I really did not think I was actually gonna be able to beat her in the confines of this video, considering, I'll be brutally honest here, I was supposed to have to go get ready for work in about 20 minutes, and I did not anticipate finishing this in this amount of time. I really didn't. Well, again, God knows again, that was on the easiest difficulty, give me story. And if you excuse me for just a moment, I'm going to save very quickly. And then I need to make sure that I have saved this video, because I don't want to